Welcome to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast, where we share tips, techniques, and true stories to support you in using the law of attraction and alchemy to create magic and live the life of your dreams. Here's your host, the founder of DailyAlchemy.com, Michelle Martin Dobbins.
Hi, this is Michelle Martin Dobbins with Daily Alchemy, and this is the Adventures in Alchemy podcast. And today I want to ask you, what's your story? We all tell stories every single day, and we like to label them as reality. But as you and I both know, if we think about it for even just a moment, we realize that everybody has their own different version of events. So a lot of the stories we tell are simply just that, stories. What kind of stories are you telling? Do you tell the stories of how your spouse doesn't understand you, your boss is incompetent, you can't afford a vacation, something along those lines? We know those stories don't get us anywhere. They might be real in this moment, but is it really the story that you want to tell? Is it the reality that you want to continue to create? I don't think so. So I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about changing your story. I saw this meme on Pinterest, and I pinned it because I thought it was awesome. And it says, words cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Words are energy. Use wisely. And I don't know who the author is, but I thought it was wonderful because our words do kind of cast a spell. We believe them and we start creating what we believe. And I know some of you may say that I'm just talking about what I see, but I think it's Wayne Dyer who said you have to see it before you believe it before you see it. Yeah. But if you want to continue to create what you've already created, then you just keep on telling the same story. But if you want something new, you have to tell a different story. I wanted to share a story with you about a book called The Power of Story by Jim Loehr. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. He works with elite athletes to help them achieve more. And he says that he could tell very early on when he talked with an athlete whether he'll be able to help them or not. Because if their ultimate goal is just to be number one, he knew it would not be enough to sustain them. They had to have an ultimate goal that was more than just that. Something that involved feelings, not just like this, I'm going to be number one. And he talked about working with a player who said she wanted to be sunshine for the world. And he said she was fabulous. She had what it took to keep going, even when she didn't win, because she could still meet her ultimate goal of being sunshine and bringing joy to others when they watched her play. That was her goal. And that's not to say that she threw out the goal of doing well and winning games, but she knew that her deepest goal was to bring joy to people through her playing of tennis. And I think that's a worthy story and a worthy goal. And I'm not saying that any goal isn't worthy, but if you're in it for the long haul, you have to have something that sustains you when times aren't always the best and when it takes a little while to manifest what you want. So these are the 3 steps that I would say that you need to do to change your story. One is to determine how you desire your reality to be. What is your goal? What is it that you want to create? Then I want to think about why do you want that? How will you feel when you get it? And as many, many people have said, what we really want is that feeling, that core desire. It might be freedom, happiness, joy, bliss, achievement, success, whatever that is, it's fine. Hold on to that desire and ask yourself a question. Would you be okay if you got that ultimate desire, whatever it is, and it came in a different way than you imagined it? Would that be okay if you still got what you truly deeply wanted? So kind of figure out what you really, really want, because you might not want to be just the number one player. You might want to be a really good player who wins lots of games and brings lots of joy to people's lives. That's just my take on it for you, for whatever you're working on. So you have to drop your old story. You cannot keep telling the old story and, have the new story take over. You have to drop it. And when you start to hear yourself saying that old story, I wish I could quit my job, but I have bills, or whatever that old story is, Just stop telling it, okay? You might look around you and you might think it's true. Stop telling it and tell your new story. Tell it to yourself. Write it down. Tell it to a trusted friend. Don't tell it to anybody who's going to put it down, but tell it, and tell it with drama. Make it juicy, okay? Because you know that when you're talking about that boss who gets on your nerves, you put in the details. You make it juicy for everybody. So make your new story juicy. So then I'm going to give you just a simple example of what this process may look like. Your goal might be to have a wonderful romantic relationship. And so the deep desire there is to feel loved and to give love, because, both of those are really nice. We don't just want to feel loved. We also want to be able to give our love out. That feels really good too. So maybe your old story is the only guys or girls I meet are jerks or weirdos. All the good ones are married. I have to settle for less than what I want if I don't want to be alone. I can't believe how bad all my dates turn out. Okay, that's not what you want to recreate. And even if it's what you have experienced, it's definitely something that you want to drop. So what your new story might look like? It might look like, my new love is perfect for me. From our first date, we just clicked. We both love to dance and eat sushi. I love staring into his hazel eyes. I love the gentle strength he gives off when he puts his arms around me. It gives me goosebumps when I breathe in the scent of him, masculine and earthy. I love how he supports me and wants to spend time with my friends, but give me time to spend alone too. I love that he has healthy ambition, but knows how to have fun. His deep laughter delights me, and I get to hear it so often because we're always laughing. He was so worth the wait. How lucky can I be? Okay, that's the story. That's all you have to do. Keep telling that story. I know if it hasn't happened yet, but that's the trick. We got to get our mind into that thing. And so you tell that story, and guess what? Maybe you meet some guy who's, he's not 6'5" and he doesn't have hazel eyes. He's, 5'10" and he has green eyes, but he makes you feel loved and you love giving him love, or, whoever you want to meet. If you meet that person that gives you that feeling, they don't have to meet necessarily the list of 50 qualities. Oops, sorry, bumped into my bell there. I guess that's telling me it's time to say the end. So I just want you to be aware of the stories that you're telling and change those stories and tell ones that you really do want to have come true, okay? Because when we put kids to bed, we don't tell them scary stories. We don't tell them boring stories. We don't tell them the worst case scenario stories. We tell them wonderful, beautiful stories. So do that for yourself. And if you need some more help manifesting the life that you would like to have, come on over to my Magical Life Manifesting Club. You can find more about it at dailyalchemy.com. or in the show notes. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Thanks for listening to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast. Connect with me on thedailyalchemy.com or Facebook at facebook.com/Michelle Dobbins, author. Join us next time for even more magical life tips.